How you doing, everyone? Share, people, share so we can start. With this this journey in this shelter over here with Pastor Alberto, and we can have a long conversation. You will be amazed right now how it's the installations in here and how is this shelter so different of other ones. The organization is pretty amazing. We got immigrants on this side right here in the park, right here sitting in the front. This is the Shelter Agape, everyone. Shelter Agape. Let's wait a little bit for a few more viewers so we can talk to the pastor about these organizations from America, from the left, that they're coming, and some of them are donating, and a lot of them are just coming and instigating and causing problems to the community. Share, people, share so we can start. A few more, let's wait a few more so we can start. How you doing, everybody? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. Follow us at Border Network News with my boy Conservative Anthony. You can follow him on Instagram as Conservative Anthony, and you can follow me as Locutor Oscar Blue or Public Figure Oscar Blue. I'm live here for Border Network News. How you doing, everybody? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. I'm live in Tijuana, Mexico, at this shelter that is called Agape. Agape is the shelter that has been here for a long time now. And the really curious thing is to talk to this pastor that he has a great opinion, and he has great things to tell us about these organizations from the left, Rapid Response, this Antifa, and all these organizations from America that they're coming over here and they're donating, and a lot of them are instigating and causing problems. As you can see, there's a group of immigrants on the back. I will ask him the amount of immigrants that he has, and before we go in, before people start criticizing, I didn't know what he does for the community of this part of the city of Tijuana. What he does for the community of this part of the city of Tijuana is amazing. He built with donations a part in there in his shelter with computers and laptops for kids from here, from Tijuana, to get them out of drugs, to get them out of problems, to find them a way to go back to school and to graduate. And right now he's saying that he feels really proud that one of the girls from here, from Tijuana, that started with him studying from kindergarten, she's about to graduate now from college, from psychology. That's something phenomenal, something great. That's a great accomplishment for him. Now he has this journey now with immigrants from Central America, and let us go, people, welcome to Shelter Agape. Share, people, share. This is actually the street. How to get here is in La Colonia Obrera. This is actually how you get here, and this is the road. Let us go, people. There's a lot of it's like a little hotel room, and we will sit down with the pastor, and he's going to talk about Jeff Merkley and what he did over here to visit this shelter. And you will be surprised how many donations he has. There's a car from a place from California over here. It comes for donations. There's another one right here, place of California. This is Shelter Agape, everyone. Welcome. There's rooms on the top. There's rooms on the bottom. This is Shelter Agape.
And the immigrants could help doing it. You want a bag?
This is hola. This is a football, a soccer court that they have right here. They have a soccer court right here. And over here, I don't know what they got. Let's go check. Buenos días. Buenos días. They got a soccer court right here. And they have where they do their celebrations. They're cutting their hair right here in the back. Buenos días. They have a guy that cuts the hair right here. This is the diner room. We're about to enter the diner room right here. This is the dining room right here. Buenos días. Right here. And let us go out to the office of the pastor. I don't know if I'm allowed to go in here, but this is the donation room. Look at all these donations that we got over here. And this is basically the pastor's office. And from here, we are going to the other part of the, this is the recreational area for the kids. They have approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 laptops. This is not specifically for immigrants from Central America. This was originally built for citizens from this community. He helps kids from the community of Tijuana, and he helps kids from that they're poor from this community. Now he's helping now with the donations from this organization from America to help this kids from Central America to study and have recreational areas right here with laptops. This is I don't know what brand this is. Ionibo. So let us go and talk to the pastor and let us have a minute with him. Let's see if we can have a little minute with him and talk to him. And there's another room that the pastor wants to show me right here. This is another room, storage. Pastor saying more storage room right here for donations. Look at this. Look at this. This is all brought by organizations from America. They're donating for immigrants. Right here, clothing. Right here, stacks of clothes. Beans, rice, and everything. And here are two bathrooms right here for them to take shower. Two showers right here. In a sink. So let us talk to the pastor right now. Let us talk. ¿Algo más? ¿Sí? There's more things that he wants to show me. Buenos días. Buenos días.
are part of the bunk beds where we're located at.
Okay. That's the pastor right there. I will present to you guys in a minute.
Whoa.
These are our bunk beds right here.
Sorry, we have them
Buenos
back.
Buenos días a todos. These are bunk beds right here.
We have them like that.
Buenos
Bunk
días,
beds.
buenos días.
They have little
Buenos días.
rooms. And you guys can see.
Tápense, tápense, que no se han peinado, tápense. Well, there's more, okay.
Go up here and
We'll go up there. Share, people, share so we can get more views. This is more bunk beds right here. How many migrants do
here
you
are for families.
Families
We
right
have
here.
a total of about 130 now.
130 immigrants.
So we have
families.
families here. These are little rooms for the families. On this side, this is the families. And more bunk beds.
It's full and packed. Every space.
And those are little rooms that families are in there with the kids.
Okay.
They have their privacy. We have a room where we have underage kids that have no mom, no dad.
Okay.
We have a room for that.
Okay, they have a room for orphans. This is bunk beds.
¿Podemos dar un saludo?
Sí, cómo no. Saludos.
Un saludo para El Salvador, para allá, para de mi familia, que son del Salvador. Estamos intentando a ver si pasamos para el otro lado.
Okay.
Igual un saludo allá a todos los salvadoreños y primero Dios pues que nos haga realidad el sueño de pasar a Estados Unidos.
De manera correcta, ¿verdad?
Y que Jehová Dios bendiga a los que vienen en camino y los proteja.
Okay. Nos vemos. For everybody that we're saying that they're saying hi to their countrymen in El Salvador, and you're saying that hopefully they can cross legally to the United States. That's what he was saying. Let's go with the pastor over here.
We're constructing a new kitchen. This is our new kitchen that we're starting to construct. World Central Kitchen that was sponsoring all the immigrants down at the Mexican shelter, let's say at the warehouse that was by Benito Juarez and also at Barretal. Actually, World Central Kitchen, they're the ones that were giving the meals to all the immigrants. They were being supported. Basically, all the meal, the majority, was from that organization, not much from Mexican government. And they're helping us out to do this kitchen.
This is a new kitchen, everybody, that is getting built. Practically Central Kitchen is the one that it's the organization that is donating for them to get a new kitchen over here and to get it built. This is a room that is going to be specifically for a kitchen. Let us walk a little bit faster.
These are non-accompanied minors that don't have no mom, no dad, and we have some families that are adults that supervise these minors.
Not accompanied minors. This is the room for non-accompanied minors, everybody. How many we got?
Vamos aquí,
Buenos
ya
días, buenos
miran
días a
cómo
todos,
estaban
buenos días.
todos.
No, yeah.
Aquí están el cuarto, le estoy diciendo que es el cuarto especial de ustedes.
¿Qué edad tienes tú?
17.
¿Y tú?
Este es el bebecito, el bebé. ¿Cómo se llama, niño?
Giancarlo.
Giancarlos.
So, ahorita vengo para platicar con ustedes a ver
Bueno.
qué manera los podemos ayudar, ¿ok? ¿Sí?
Dios les bendiga. Up here we have some families.
That was unaccompanied minors. How many unaccompanied minors you got, Pastor?
Right now we have 7.
7
Yeah,
unaccompanied minors.
It's not much. So these are the rooms, families also.
all the questions that you guys are asking, please hold them until we sit down and talk to the pastor. The pastor is trying to explain right now. This is where? This is what?
This is just for families.
This is for families, right here.
Families. Yeah. Right now we're doing bunk beds for them. We're gonna do some bunk beds for them. We're organizing there. Another room for them.
This is the room.
And over here. And on this side of the property, since they can't smoke cigarettes inside this property, they could smoke out there. So those that smoke cigarettes, they could smoke only cigarettes.
Okay, that's good. That's good, Pastor. That's good.
Yeah. He's one of the supervisors that help us out with security. Le digo que de seguridad, usted nos ayuda con la seguridad. Bien, gracias.
Yeah, buenos días, buenos días.
When we really get packed up and everything, we put like tents and everything. We close everything up. It's like a circus, but everything closed up.
How many migrants? How much was the amount, the quantity that you had here?
About 225.
225 migrants.
And here we have.
Your church.
Here we have the church.
Wow, this is.
And we open here, put music here, and sometimes we do a meal and everything and fellowship with them here and everything. So we just open everything up. Mm-hmm. So basically, that's just our small tour.
This is a big property, Pastor.
Oh, it's also.
Let us go sit down and talk with the pastor for all your questions that you guys want to ask. And I have a lot of doubts and a lot of questions, regarding certain visits.
This is a mobile kitchen.
Mobile kitchen,
With
right
this
here.
mobile kitchen, we open it up and everything. When we go down in the streets where the immigrants are and everything, we just open it up, cook and everything, and serve the immigrants.
That's great. This is a mobile kitchen right here. They have a water display right here. Tank.
Restrooms, showers.
Restrooms and showers right there. Cleaning all the time.
Okay.
I'm about to sit down right here with the pastor and have a little conversation with him regarding this tour. So for everybody, hi Pastor Oscar Blue for Border Network News. Say hi to I want to say that Border Network News is composed by two people. It is Anthony Agüero in El Paso. It is in El Paso, Texas, and there's myself right here in Tijuana. And you're talking to whole America right now. You have a lot of audience. So what's your name and what is the name of this shelter and how many years you've been involved in helping people, not only immigrants, but people from here, from the community of Tijuana?
Well, my name is Albert Rivera. We have a nonprofit called Agape AC, established here in Tijuana. We've been here since 1999. Actually, we started from, this actually is a landfill. The property that you just saw, everything is just a landfill. All the trash of all Tijuana used to be dumped on here for over 50 years. And we came here to serve what they call here pepenadores, los que pepenan. That means those people that all the trash from Tijuana comes, and when the trash trucks come and everything, people just go there and rush and see whatever they could recycle and everything, aluminum or whatever. And sometimes they get like clothings, and then they wash the clothings and then sell it and everything. So basically, this is how we started. We had a whole bunch of kids and everything that was working at the Tijuana City dump site, and they did not know how to read, write. Then a church from Fellowship Church down at Knoxville, Tennessee came down, and they saw that they were even grandparents and everything that from way back they just been working there. They can't get a job because they don't know how to read, write. So basically what they did is they helped us out to sponsor these kids, and they sponsored about 97 kids from the city dump. 90% of these kids were working at the city dump. Some did not know how to read, write, or anything. So they're sponsoring from kindergarten all the way to the university. And actually, in May, we're going to have our very first graduate from the university.
I was going to tell you about that. So you brag about that, Pastor. Brag about that.
I feel very happy and everything. It's a young girl. Her name is Adelita, and she's going to become a psychiatrist officially from the university. I have several of them that are studying to be lawyers, and other fields. So we have about 6 or 7 university students, and the other ones are like in high school, junior high, and everything. And thanks to Fellowship Church, that they said the only way that they could get out of poverty and everything is just doing everything just through education. But all these people are all these minors that are being sponsored are 100% from here, from Mexico, from
Okay.
Tijuana.
So questions that they're really curious for the American public, and you know where I'm going. There was an incident back in like 2-3 months ago, Pastor, that or a little bit more than that. I saw you in the shelter that it was Contra Viento y Marea. You were there, and you were the first one to offer your place for the 25 to 50 that they were in there. Sorry about that. I received a phone call. So you went over there to offer your services, and they came over here. Apparently, you had a little bit of trouble with these, specific immigrants, and there was this situation with this young kid that it was unaccompanied by, with a certain specific organization from the United States. Can you elaborate a little bit on what happened and which is this organization from the United States that's coming, and sometimes they're instigating and motivating these people to cross illegally to the United States?
Well, first we were in the middle of the negotiations that the place was shut down there at the warehouse, and so they needed to get out of there. We were part of the negotiation. I had to negotiate a little bit with some activists, and then also with the immigrants and everything. And then there was an agreement that everyone from Contra Viento Marea, the immigrants that came there that was in the warehouse real close to the border, everyone agreed to come with us. So they came with us. It was very hard a little bit for the Mexican authorities because it was 24/7, municipal police, state police, federal police was there and watched, like with some satellites and everything, because at any time the immigrants could get together and try to cross all at once and everything. So they needed to 24-hour watch and call up if they're organizing, so they could try to prevent them to cross all at once. So all the 3 branches of government were very happy that we negotiated and everyone came down over here. The problem that we had, I didn't have problems specifically with the immigrants and everything. My main concern or problem was with some activist groups that came. There's some activist groups that are very, very good and everything, has a very strong passion.
Can you say like a little bit the name? Rapid Response is one of them.
Yeah, well, there's Rapid Response. There's the group they call Caravan Support Network, and then there's Border Support Network, and some other ones.
Have you received Antifa has come over here?
Antifa, with Antifa, I met them down over there at the border where they were, real close to the border, at that warehouse by Benitez. So there was a whole bunch of activists. There's some that are very, very pure and want to do everything in order, abiding towards the law. And then there's some that are moderates, and there's some that are very extremists. My problem that I had was with the very extremists and everything, that they do not believe in to follow the law, the guidelines of the law, and they don't trust no authority from any country, U.S. or Mexico or whatever. So basically, they want to do the things on their own, and they're very, very protective. We had problems with those. We had a caravan support net where we had problems that when they came down over here with us, they were bringing in drugs in our shelter, and when they were bringing drugs in our shelter and everything, I was having problems. That one of the first rules and everything, no drugs in our facility. If you're going to smoke a cigarette or something, you do it outside, but not here inside the facility. We told them, okay, we do not accept no polleros. You cannot bring no pollero here. Someone that's going to cross illegally.
Coyotes.
I don't want no coyotes to come here, or no one is allowed like that. If you're going to contract a coyote and everything, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know anything about it. And he cannot come in this property. They could be outside. So these are like rules and everything that we give them down here. Respect, no stealing here. Anyone that steals from another person is automatic out. And we want to support you. We want to help you, and anything that we can. We have the 3 meals, and we coordinate very well. So these are just our guidelines and rules that we gave them. But these extremists were not did not agree that much. Several of them said, "Oh no, we're going to get out. We can't be in the shelter." Okay, well, you don't. These are rules or regulations. They wanted to make it a little bit like politics and everything. Oh, we're going to protest, and we're going to call the press and everything that we cannot drink beer inside the property because I'm an adult, and the law says if I'm over 21 years old, I could drink beer and everything, and you cannot prohibit me to do something like that. And I tell them, look, this is private property. This is a non-profit organization. It's not being sponsored at all with no government funds, U.S., Mexico, whatever. It's we're doing it on our own. Over there, you had a shelter, and it was a government shelter, and maybe you guys have that argument. I'm over 21, and you cannot prohibit me in a government shelter to drink beer because it's legal and everything, and you could make that legal argument or protest, or I could smoke cigarettes, this property, because I'm over 18, but not here. This is private property. I'm sorry, if they wanted to do a press conference and all that, I don't have no problem. You could do that. And so basically the main problem happened. They were bringing dope, different kinds of marijuana and crystal and everything. So I had a lot of problems. With the problem that I had, I had a 14-year-old boy unaccompanied, no mom, no dad. And some that were smoking dope and everything did not like the kid because they said that the kid steals. He steals from everyone. We don't want him. And then the boy defended himself, said, you and you are the ones that are bringing drugs here inside the shelter. And these Americans that park there, they're the ones that are bringing it in here. So about 15 immigrants started saying, you're a rat, and you know what's happened with rats. They torture rats. We do this to rats. And they were threatening the boy. So I got very concerned. So I told them nobody's going to threaten no underage kid, especially if he don't have no mom, no dad, and everything. And I told them they need to get out. They're not welcome here. Police came, the authorities came, and everything. And we got together, and they agreed that they were going to leave. But they called up some activist groups from Caravan Support Network, and they came down over here. And when they came down at our property and everything, they came to our property. And when they came down here, basically they started talking to the immigrants that they were going to rent a hotel for them. And then they talked to the boy and everything. One way or another, they took the boy, but with the persons that were threatening the boy also. I got concerned because these are radical activists that bring dope down to the property. Then they take some of the immigrants that were smoking dope, and at the same time they take a minor. So my concern was for the minor. So I gave them 3 days to turn in the boy back. Because what happened is that when everyone came out of the shelter,
that's basically kidnapping, Pastor.
That was like kidnap. So basically, the government gave me everyone that was there at the shelter. So I was responsible. All three branches of the government said, "You take them, Pastor." So anything happened to underage kid, I have to give accountability. I have to tell the authorities, look, we this boy's missing or what happened. So I gave them 3 days. They did not do it. So I told them I was going to go to the press and everything. I had some videos. I put a video of the person that took them, the people that took the boy and everything. They did not believe me. I went to the press. It came out here. The press, I received a phone call telling me, one of the activists telling me, "Pastor, do I need to leave Mexico?" Because his name was River. He's from Caravan Support Network. Do I need to leave Mexico?
Talking about River Dorothy.
Yes.
Okay.
So River, he said, "Pastor, do I need to leave Mexico because of this report that happened?" I said, "I don't know what's the procedure for Mexico, how they do this. I cannot tell you to leave, or I cannot tell you don't leave." And then when he called me and everything, we went down to the city councilman. They told me that the boy was from Honduras. We talked to the city councilman. We went with an attorney, Ramona Boites. He's like the president of here in Baja California, like of the State Bar Association. Yeah, they call him here a delegado de abogados from the state. I went with him, and we talked and everything with the embassy. We wanted to do like an Amber Alert. I went to social media, and we had a social media that we were communicating with all different activist groups. I don't know
A little parenthesis right here, Pastor. Sorry to interrupt. Did you put a warrant for the arrest for River Dorothy over here?
Well, no, and yes.
Okay.
Why is it no and yes? Okay, what happened is it came out on the news and everything, and he came out, and everyone that took the boy was coming out. And social media, everyone that we were communicating with the activists, I'll give you so much time. Look, I'm here with the embassy. Everyone was discussing. Wait a minute, we don't want to turn in the boy. We don't want to turn in the boy, because if we turn the boy in, they're going to go to DEEF, and then DEEF is going to take them to immigration, and immigration is going to deport the boy. We don't trust Mexican authorities, the government, and everything. The best interest is for us to keep the boy under the radar, have a place that the activists will, and no accountability with no law, no authority, and everything. So I told him, wait a minute, I cannot trust this organization because you're bringing dope to my shelter. The boy confronted and said that this organization is bringing dope, and also with the immigrants here, there's a motive why you take the boy. The motive is that if this boy comes out and say, yeah, these Americans, activist groups, Caravan Support Network is bringing dope to and giving this to us, the immigrants and everything. Well, they go down in social media, they go everything to give me some money and donations and everything. Well, nobody's going to want to donate some money for an activist group that's actually giving dope to the immigrants and also the minors and everything. So no one wants to donate. So their best interest is kidnap the boy, take the boy and everything. Don't let everything come out. At the end, what happened is that Caravan Support Network, right now they say like they don't exist, and they became Border Support Network. They changed names.
Oh my God!
So it was a big issue.
Go ahead.
Later on, what happened is that we came in television. I told them what's happening. They called me up and they told me, Pastor, okay, we got the boy. We're going to turn in the boy and everything. We don't want no problems. We don't want the media to be involved. No government officials. We're scared of the Mexican government for the investigation. Whatever we do, we're going to turn in the boy. Dorothy came down over here with another activist, and they told me, okay, we have the boy. An activist came and said Dorothy had the boy in a vehicle 2 blocks away from my shelter. He said we could go down 2 blocks from here, and we're going to turn you the boy. We're going to turn in the boy, and I want you to make sure that the boy is secure and that he's not kidnapped, he's not being treated bad or anything. I said I need to contact the authorities because it's not up to me now. I have to turn in the boy to the authorities and see what's going to happen with the Mexican officials. And they said, okay, can you go 2 blocks from here? I said, no, I'm not going to go with you 2 blocks from here. You need to bring the boy here. You took him from here. You're going to bring him here. Okay, we're going to bring him back. They never did. So when they did not bring the boy back and everything, well, all the press was involved, Telemundo, Televisa, everyone was involved. What's happening with the boy, what's going on. I had all the press down over here. From the embassy, representative from the embassy from Honduras came down over here. I had a meeting with all the immigrants here and everything. Telemundo interviewed from the embassy a representative, what's happening with the boy. We talked a little bit. The representative leaves. Telemundo stays here, but they had a very small little telephone. They did not have big cameras, and the activists did not know that Telemundo was here. So basically what happened is, all of a sudden, when the representative leave, about 10 minutes later, they come and tell me, oh, they brought the boy and everything, and they wanted me to meet the boy outside. I said, no, bring him to my office. They came here to this office, brought him down over here. And then I told them, okay, I need to talk to the boy in private. They did not want me to talk to the boy in private, that they needed to be present and that they were going to take the boy, but they just wanted me to make sure that the boy is doing well. I said, I need to call the authorities, because when the warehouse was shut down over there, everyone gave me, all the immigrants that were there, and if they're minors, I have a responsibility. I need to tell the authorities, okay, you guys are going to take the kids. They did not agree. Telemundo was filming from outside what was going to happen. They were filming me at the same time. They went outside and took the boy, and I was following them and everything. Telemundo was following also. They went down over there by a taxi car, and about 6 or 7 got inside the taxi, and they were going to take the boy, and I stopped the taxi, and I was filming, and
oh my God.
I was calling 911 also, telling, okay, look, this is the boy that's missing. They stopped the taxi. When I stopped the taxi, I told them, look, this is the boy that's wanted, that's coming out on television, and you can't take the boy. The taxi driver said, bring him down. Telemundo's filming on one side. I'm with 911. They tell me, go to Loma Bonita. There's a police station there, and that police station asked for support for them. We're calling them now so that they could give you backup. The boy starts running inside that same place, that shopping center. There's a little police station. We're going behind them, filming and everything. 4 or 5 of our immigrants that are with us, they tell me, well, the boy's running. Can we just go run and just detain the boy until the authorities come? I said, go ahead. Then about 20 activist groups come, and they start fighting with some other immigrants over here because they don't want them to stop the boy.
This activist groups meaning from the Caravan Support Network.
Caravan Support Network.
Yes.
Then the Caravan Support Network and everything, what they did, they went inside the parking lot with 2 vehicles, went inside, and when the boy was running with other activists and everything, hop on the car. Everybody hopped on inside the car. When they hopped on in the car, they left. I'm in 911. Stop these cars. There's a police station here. They stopped the car. They stopped over 20 Caravan Support Network people. Some are Caravan Support Networks from the U.S. activists, mixed together with also people from immigrants, mixed together with immigrants. They stopped them, everyone all together. Police stopped them and everything. We took the boy. We took to go see the judge. When we went to see the judge and everything, Telemundo followed us, and then Sentesi TV also followed us. We went to see the judge. We said what was happening. The judge said he wanted to see the boy in private. When he wanted to see the boy in private, basically what happened is that the boy ran out of the court. When he ran out of the court, the police was after. He was scared, and the police was after the boy, and the police officer was telling him, calm down, boy. What calm down? We want to help you. Why are you acting this way? Then one of the activists said, oh, you told the boy you were going to shoot him. They never said that he was going to shoot the boy. I mean, especially in front of Telemundo there, in front of Synthesis there. I'm filming. Everyone's filming. Nobody's going to do that. So basically, they ran away. They asked backup. They got the boy. The boy is not doing that well. They were giving dope to the boy and everything.
Oh God, man.
The boy pulled off a little knife on 2 police officers. And then the activist, one of the girls, come on, boy, turn that down. You cannot do that. You took the knife away, and the boy was arrested. We had to go down to to DEEF. When we went down to DEEF, we gave a statement of everything that was happening down with the authorities. When we gave the statement down to DEEF and everything, they kept the boy. They kept the boy. Then 4 days later, I received a message, and police officers, federal police, come here that the boy escaped from DEEF and facility. They want to look for the boy. Where's the boy at? I go to social media with the activists. Look, federal police came here. They're looking for him. Someone telling me, oh, he's in the YMCA. We saw the boy there and everything. So I go back to DEEF and I tell him.
YMCA San Diego?
No, YMCA here in Tijuana.
All right.
Basically, what happened is that the YMCA here in Tijuana, the federal government and the local authorities trust that organization. And many of the minors that they filter and that they feel that they could trust and everything, and they don't want to deport back to their country. There's a detention center, especially for immigrants, minors, unaccompanied minors.
So the boy right now is at the YMCA facility as we speak?
Well, he escaped from. What happened is that when they caught him, the police said that he escaped. So I go back and I tell DEEF that he escaped. He's in the YMCA. When I tell them they're in the YMCA, DEEF tells me, no, we turned in the boy to Mexican immigration. Mexican immigration turned the boy to the YMCA, and the boy escaped from the YMCA.
Oh my God. So nobody knows his whereabouts right now.
So we did not know where the boy's at. We went down to the councilman and everything was happening. Nobody knew. Nobody wanted to turn in the boy. I was telling them, turn in the boy and everything. They wanted to. They were negotiating with me how to turn the boy, how to do it, which way, and everything. You have to go to the authorities. This is out of our hands, and everything. So at the end, what happened? I have some immigrants here that are at the back of the line, and when they're in the back of the line, they got their number. They went down to court. They have them at detention center, and then after the detention center, they got to they turn them back here to Tijuana so that they could get their other court date to see the judge and everything. Well, in the detention center, some of our immigrants that got deported back here for a court order down over there said, we saw the boy with part of the activist group that took the boy here, that got arrested. This activist group, a caravan support network, trafficked the boy illegally into the United States. They crossed over. It got caught by immigration, and they're in the detention center in the United States.
So the boy is right now in the detention. No, well, this was long ago. Probably he is in Honduras right now, or probably he is in the detention center in the United States.
Well, I'm not sure what the United States is doing, because I notified the authorities of the United States that and they I have a video camera. I have a video some video clips and everything. When we were chasing the caravan, when they got arrested, when we're River Dorothy, he's there with the license plate and everything. All the immigrants and all the activist groups that were there, kidnapping the boy and everything. I turned all this evidence and everything to the authorities in the United States. So I'm not sure if they're being prosecuted in the United States or anything. But since this crime and everything was committed in Mexican territory, I'm not sure if they're going to do follow-up down in the United States.
Well, I will ask the audience to do a follow-up at Pastor, so they can, investigate what is going on over there. Now, another question for you regarding the organizations that they come. A lot of them are radical, and a lot of them they instigate and they provoke for them to cross illegally to the United States. A lot of them come with legal support over here. With his, legal lawyers, that they come and they coach them how to cross illegally to the United States. Have you seen that over here in your shelter?
Well, that's another issue. Well, basically, it's a network. Right now, they're working as a network. Let's say Caravan Support Network, Border Support Network, other activist groups are like in a network. Like if they're merging, but most it's like a network working and coordinating together with law firms, attorneys, and everything, and that's a little bit too dangerous. And I have had some problems here with lawyers, with some activist groups. I had to kick them out. That they're not wanted. I have some immigrants that are applying for political asylum that they have a very strong case, and they've been living together, but they're coming down from Honduras together, but they're not husband and wife. So al otro lado, attorneys, where the Enclave Caracol, and they have gone down over there, and when they go down over there, they saying they're gonna be their attorneys, free and everything. Then they tell them the only way you could qualify to enter into the United States and both of you as a matrimony, it's for me to marry you. If I marry you and make you husband and wife.
Oh my God! So it's a false matrimony. So they're contributing and they're supporting the fact that they want to create a false matrimony so they can cross legally through the United States. So they're creating all this stuff.
Yeah, they're marrying people because they say he qualifies, but you don't qualify. So both of you could qualify. You need to become husband and wife. That way, both of you could qualify and enter into the United States.
Wow, that is horrible.
So then I had that matrimony, and several of them, United States have caught that they're really not married because the ones that are marrying is the attorney, the attorney from El Otro Lado with some people that they have that they're merging or they're networking together. So they're all together. So basically what happened is they're marrying them, but then I had immigrant down here. He came with flowers. He got married. He was very happy. I mean, I was very happy. I did a cake with him. We did a huge celebration. Great. They just got married and everything. But then when I see the paperwork, I see everything's false and everything. I'm not sure and everything. So I go to the president of the State Bar Association here in Baja California, Ramon Aboites. He's el delegado de los abogados. And I take the paperwork, I take these immigrants and tell them, oh, they got married, but I think this is false. I don't think this is right. He said, wait a minute. They need to be registered and like county recorder's office and everything. There's no registration. There's nothing here and everything. All this is false, what they're doing and everything. So he's saying, wait a minute. I cannot go back to my country because if I go back to my country, they're going to kill me. I got a strong case and everything. It's just because these lawyers are doing this and they told me to do this and everything. I don't want to get deported back. I'm going to get killed down over there. I'm going to report it to the Mexican police and say what's happening. And I want also the United States to know that they marry me that way. I cannot be deported back. So we even went to the here police in Mexico and filed a police report, show them all the paperwork, false marriage, the certificate, all the documentation, everything that they had. We went down. We told them what was happening. And then the investigation authority from the federal government, where you do the police report, they told the immigrant, oh, no, if you go this and you show it to the United States, they're not going to believe you and everything. And you don't do anything about it. If you go over there, they think that you plotted all this and everything. And they told him not to do anything. But we got the press involved. Several of the press got involved with everything that's happening. So he got his number. He went down to the United States. He went to an immigration officer down over there and said, this is a false marriage like this, but I do have a case. This is my case, but this is a false marriage. This is what they're doing. These law firms and everything, they're doing it like that. They didn't believe him. They said, oh, no. You're just doing that so you could enter into the United States and everything.
Wow, that is amazing.
The other problem here that the federal police over here, they said, okay, I don't believe you because Al Otro Lado law firm doesn't exist here in Mexico. Well, it doesn't exist because they're not registered legally. They're not registered legally as a law firm down over here.
That is exactly right.
They are an organization, a law firm in the United States.
They cannot predict the law in our country.
And they're practicing law
exactly
here in Tijuana and everything. My question is, I do not know if the State Bar Association in the United States could sanction attorneys that do that. or something. That's because this is being committed in a different country. But that's a different issue. But the problem that's happening right now is that, okay, they turn him, now he's here back with me. He got another court date. Right now he's here with me. He has shown to the press, okay, here's the paperwork and everything. I don't want to get deported back. We've been living together as husband and wife and everything. So what they do at the attorneys, according to they say according to Honduras Constitution, if you have more than 3 years being married, you're automatically like a husband and wife. That's what they consider it. So what happened is the attorneys from El Otro Lado, they have like a form from down over there, Honduras, and saying according to the Constitution down over there and in Honduras, if we have so much time living together, we're automatic husband and wife and everything. Can you sign here that you have this? And they're making it seem like they're doing all this paperwork down in Honduras in their country, but actually they're doing it here.
Wow.
And they're turning this all this down to immigration authorities down over here. They also give them a website. This is my file number. This is your file number for your case that we're representing you, and this is your password so you could enter to your case. And right there, they say everything that how they're representing him as husband and wife and how your case is. So they read all of that. So when they have their interview, they go down to immigration authorities, and according to what's written down and everything, that's what they tell the authorities so that they could allow them into the United States.
Wow, that is unbelievable, Pastor. Now, I'm going to tell you a number that we talked about yesterday, that you said that's the only kids that you know about. I told you 7,946 children are the ones that they say on February they got caught on United States territory unaccompanied by. What is how many have you had over here unaccompanied children from Central America?
Okay, we have several minors that have come not accompanied by. There's a huge legal problem here. The thing is that we cannot have unaccompanied minors and everything because these kids need to be given to nonprofit organizations and orphanage or shelters or something through the state. The state is the one that has jurisdiction under these on this case. So let's say if the state doesn't give you these kids and everything, you're violating Mexican law. You could be sanctioned and you could get in very big trouble, or something happens to these kids and everything. You could be arrested and have big problems here in Mexico. So there's no shelter that wants these kids. There's no orphanage that wants these kids. If the state is not giving these kids to the shelter or giving these kids down to the orphanage, they're not taking them. So all these kids are staying down. They go to the street. A lot of these kids, they know if they go to a shelter and everything, well, our responsibility is to report to La Procuraduría, to report down to DIF, the authorities and everything. We have these minors, they're unaccompanied, and I want you to know and everything, and they're at our place, and you're the authority. You tell us what to do with them. I don't want to kick them out on the street and everything. If you say it's okay for us to have them, okay, we could have them. If you say no, I'm going to take them away and everything, well, you're the authority. You do whatever you want. So, but a lot of minors, they don't want to. They don't want to go to these shelters and everything because they know that that's by law. That's what they have to do. So they stay down on the street. What's happening is that there's a lot of activist groups and everything that they know all this problem that's happening, and there's a big loophole and big problems politically and everything. They're renting homes, they're renting apartments and everything, and they have all these unaccompanied minors with no mom and dad, and they're giving them board and everything secretly underground.
So the number that I just gave you is a number that the federal government knows about, but we have a number that is way out there, out of our reach, with this renting of these rooms with these organizations.
I understand that a lot of these activist groups, they feel like they're well intended because they're saying that these minors, they're saying they need protection and everything, and we need to protect them, If we give them down to DEEF, or we give them to the Mexican government, and the Mexican government, DEEF turns them into immigration, and they deport them back, and actually they're fearing for their lives, and actually they do have a strong case for political asylum, and they could get killed down over there. A lot of these activist groups say, well, I need to protect these minors because the Mexican government is not going to protect them. So it's a big problem. Some are well intended that they're doing that, but it's very hard. Everybody needs to be regulated. Everybody needs to, especially when it's about minors. So it's a big issue. The other issue and problem is we just had not too long ago a senator that came by.
Senator Jeff Merkley. That's the other question that I wanted to talk to you about. What was the intentions of him coming over here? Because it seems kind of weird that, we had a week ago that they crossed illegally through the United States by the fence in Playas de Tijuana, and it was a big issue. That's it kind of like it kind of relates to the thing that I want to ask you, Pastor. The rumor is, because we have contacts in Chiapas, there's a lot of American organizations in Chiapas that they coach these people and then tell them, hey, you know what? As soon as you get to the border, you cross illegally and you start yelling, you claim asylum, that you're afraid for your life, and they will take you, and they do the catch and release, the famous catch and release that they're doing right now. Have you gotten that kind of mentality over here in your shelter with the immigrants that they're coming from Central America?
No, what happened is there's attorneys, like we say, they're very good pro bono attorneys. There's a lot of attorneys. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's some that are attorneys that are like extremists also. Like, let's say in El Otro Lado, if you enter into their webpage and everything, who they are and everything, you enter in El Otro Lado and everything. Basically, they have what they call there is a non-profit organization. There they say, you want to donate $90,000, $60,000, $30,000, and everything, so we could represent these immigrants down in court for political asylum and everything. People do donate. What they do, they grab the immigrants, and they see that they have legal status here in Mexico, like a visa or something. Sometimes they take their picture. Sometimes they tell them, oh, I need your paperwork, because they scare the immigrants and tell them, okay, give me your visa from Mexico, that for humanitarian aid, that you for humanitarian reasons you're here, or political asylum, you're here in Mexico. Give me your documentation. I need to keep your documentation, and when you go into the United States and everything, don't take that documentation, because the United States breaks those documentations from you. So let me keep them. And some immigrants do give them these documentations. So they have all these names. They put all these names up down at the website. We have so many immigrants that we want to sponsor. It's $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 that we need to represent them in court and everything. There's a whole bunch of donations, people that are donating and everything. That's why when you go down to the border, down where they get their number and everything, you see a whole bunch of activist groups and everything that they're saying, oh, you don't have an attorney and everything, I could represent you free and everything. And at the same time, they get part of their cut. They're getting
So that's why they are in that part of the playa.
It's a big business. It's a big business.
Jeff Merkley, why he was over here, why he was visiting you. That's the weird thing. After all the things that have been happening this past week, there's a lot of movement going on, and elections coming on 2020 in the United States, and all of a sudden you see them, touching their heart with this movement that is coming over here. Why he came over here?
Well, I received a phone call from the embassy that he heard about our shelter that we have here, and because of everyone that was down by downtown Tijuana, that everyone from that warehouse came down to us, and if he wanted to get a feedback and he wanted to know exactly the things that were happening. I told him, yeah, he's more than welcome. Actually, I still feel honored that he did come, because for me it's very interested. I'm very interested that not only the local government here from Mexico know what's really going on and what's happening, but also the authorities of the United States. So all the immigrants were very motivated, and I felt like kind of honored that he came down over here, and I told him the truth of what's happening, that they are some underground, some activists that are very extremist underground that they're doing this. That they're renting some apartments and houses and everything, and they have this the unaccompanied minors and everything. And my worry is that here in Tijuana, prostitution is legal and everything. So there's a lot of people that do sex trafficking with the kids and everything. That's one of my main concerns. I also mentioned about problems with immigrants, that they also some activist groups that are bringing dope and everything. And so I mentioned I did not have that much time to be specific with them, and I told them my main concern is like unaccompanied minors. These unaccompanied minors, they want to apply for political asylum. And the thing is, right now at the border, the procedure that's going on now, if you're an unaccompanied minor and you want to go get your number at the border, if you want to get a number to apply for political asylum, they're not giving minors a number for political asylum because they said, you're a minor, we cannot give you. So I had one of our minor. I have a young girl. She was out on the street. It was raining. Did not have. She was just eating like cookies and dehydrated and everything. Someone called me if I could receive this immigrant girl. It's a 13-year-old girl and a 15-year-old girl. The 15-year-old is 5 months pregnant, dehydrated. I had to take her emergency to the hospital. The doctor gave her like Pedialyte, that she needed Pedialyte, and that she needed a lot of rest, and then gave her some medication, and she needed a lot of. Go ahead. No, I'll just turn it off 1 second. I'm sorry about. So basically, what happened with us is what happened with us. I took her down over there. When I took her down over, I brought her here. We brought her here, and the first thing I had to do is contact the authorities here in Mexico. Look, I have this minor. She's an immigrant, no mom, no dad. She's with her sister and everything. I need to give an accountability. What do I do with her, and everything. DEEF said, officials from the DEEF said, we don't have enough room to have all these immigrants, and we don't have the funding to have them in a place. I went to Secretaría de Gobierno with the governor's office and talked to the secretary of the state, and what they told us, okay, we need to contact immigration. I contacted the immigration, and immigration said, well, if she doesn't have no documentation, she doesn't have no ID, she doesn't have anything, it's automatic deportation. I told them, okay, what's happening in our shelter, we have all kind of people and immigrants, and we had some minors also there, and all you guys are saying is just for me to give you a number, how many I have and everything, and it's okay, no problem. Our organization is very interested in getting her mom or her dad down over here. We are organizing through the embassy, Salvadorian, she's from El Salvador, through the embassy there, so that she could get her birth certificate, so she could, also that her mom could get a visa to come into Mexico. And we're willing even to pay the plane fare for the mom to come here, because it's to the best interest of for these two young girls, that no mom, no dad, that their parents be there. So we're negotiating with the Mexican government and see if they could give them this visa, because the girls have been threatened in their country and their life is at risk down over there. And the problem is, United States don't want to give them a number and everything. So when the senator came, he got to talk to several of the minors, the ones that we have here. He was very interested in different cases.
That was the next question that I was about to ask you. Sorry to interrupt you.
Sure.
What was his main reaction when you told him about all these instigators, all these lawyers that they're coming over here to motivate the illegal crossing, all these trafficking of kids, the trafficking of drugs, and all these things that they're coming from America, because they're coming from organizations from America that they're motivating the immigrants now, and not only that, they're coaching them to cross illegally to the United States. What was his reaction when you told him all of this? Because probably he was coming. I don't know if he knew what is going on, or I don't know if he was surprised.
Well, he was a little bit shocked when I told him like that. It looks like he wasn't expecting to come like to a shelter, and for someone in the shelter to tell him that. you know, tell him that. He was a little bit shocked and surprised and everything. And then all suddenly when he came, we had like we had human rights organization come. When I was talking to him, we were there. All suddenly, DIF came and rushed there. La Procuraduría came and rushed there. Then human rights organization came and rushed there. And then Asuntos Religiosos came and rushed there, and everything. So it became a little bit like a circus. So I did not have quality time to really speak to him. Then he came and he talked to the public. He talked to the immigrants. And he was telling them about the city's zero tolerance. He spoke also
Zero tolerance regarding what?
the Donald Trump's zero tolerance
Okay.
on on immigration and everything. He said he felt that was a little bit too rough, a little bit too hard.
Okay.
He also mentioned that detention centers from minors that was in the United States, that he was there, and actually he wanted to enter into one of these shelters to go inside the United States facility to see, and he wasn't allowed entrance for quite a while or something. But at the end, some of these minors and everything really did get released and everything, so that he's really up to date with everything. So he was telling all this to the immigrants. And then there were some questions. He said to open the questions to everyone, and we had the problem that when he said open the questions, everything, the minor came. One of the minors came, the one that's pregnant, and everything wanted to give a question. And then I had La Procuraduría, I had DIF, I have everyone. And
that's another question I want to ask you, Pastor. You know, human rights is a joke over here in Tijuana. It's really a joke. They don't protect not only the immigrants, they don't protect the rights of Mexicans. It's really a joke, really. I have seen it, because they know that they're minors, and they know when it was in the 5th of May, they know that they were consuming drugs. They know that they were, minors there, and they were letting them out. They were not protecting them, and they were not giving them the right to be inside of a perimeter. It's unbelievable that they come over here and they expect them to be respected when you have done much of the job of protecting them.
Well, they came down over here just to make sure. So actually, they asked me, please, not in front of the press and everything. We're responsible legally. We're responsible for these minors and everything. And I don't think it's to their best interest, these minors, to come out in front of the press, everyone listening to their story and everything. If the senator wants to hear from them or something, let it be in private. Please, Pastor, help me with this. So I told the minors, okay, not with the press and everything. And then later on, we had the meeting personally with the minors and everything. And I got extreme surprise how this 15-year-old girl responded and actually defended herself. This 15-year-old girl, what she told the senator, I got surprised. She told the senator, look, I'm 15, I have 6 months pregnant, I'm here with my sister, and I feel bad because, I feel threatened in my country that I could get killed down over there. I have the same problem that the adults have, and that these adults have gone to the United States, applied for the for political asylum, and they have allowed them to enter the United States, protecting these adults and everything. But I have the same problem that these adults have. But just because I'm a minor, I cannot have a number. Just because I'm a minor, you cannot hear my case. I want my day in court with immigration, but just because I'm a minor, I cannot have my day in court. But
what did he say, Jeff Merkley?
Well, he got surprised. He got surprised how the minor was defending herself, because the minor was saying, "I cannot believe that the United States is willing to protect for political asylum adults, but not me as a minor. But I'm in danger too." So he said, well, he wanted to see how they could do so that they could give the minors also a number. So legally, if the United States is asking, for, let's say, that because he's a minor, he cannot accept that application. Well, who's responsible for the minor? It has to be the state. The state of Baja California is responsible for these minors. So the only way that legal option that they have, these minors got to go to the Baja California state, and when they go to Baja California state, they receive the kids. You put a social worker, get some psychiatrists, and the psychiatrist will give some kind of recommendation what's going on with this minor. And if the minor said, I want to apply for political asylum, they could do it through the state and apply in the United States with the recommendation and what's happening with the psychiatrist. The judge could listen to the case, also put another psychiatrist in the United States to confirm everything's all right, and then probably grant them political asylum and everything. But it's a big legal process and everything, that there's a possibility that that's the only option there is. That's the only option that I think, but I'm not sure how they're going to work it out. I have no idea.
Okay, another question regarding MS-18 and regarding MS-13 members. We have seen them a lot over here in Tijuana. We have seen them a lot. What is the attitude if you have received them? Not blaming you, not even at all, because you're for the labor of God to help people. But if you have received them, what is their attitude as soon as they get over here? You know, what is their attitude as soon as they get into the shelter? Are they provoked by cartels? Are they provoked by people? Do they want to go out and delinquent? Do they want to go out on a rampage and they just want to cross illegally, or they just want to do things right?
Well, at our shelters a lot different. Anyone that uses violence or acts in a violent way or something, or instigate anything, I tell them, you're not welcome. Actually, I don't consider this like a shelter. I consider this like a family. We try to treat everyone like a family, and anyone that's violent and everything, we automatically we kick them out of here. There have been some problems with MS that has been infiltrating in the middle of the caravan and the immigrants. And since here in Mexico prostitution is legal, some intended try to have some of these women enter into prostitution, and MS overseeing them and everything. But they were confronted by organized prostitution and people that are involved in that here by Coahuila and different places.
So they wanted it to start working.
Yeah, and and they were not permitted, and some things that don't come out in the news. Some were found hanged down by Rosarito and everything from MS and everything. It's a lot of things that's happening that really don't come out.
Yes. One last thing before we go to certain things that I want to talk about, the good things that you do over here. Regarding the 15-year-old, that, Pastor, that, I'm sorry for the 15-year-old that she's pregnant, but that a lot of women, they're coming pregnant, and their intention is to cross legally to claim asylum and to have the kid over in the United States. Do you think that was, that this 15-year-old was coached? Or do you think that she was speaking out of her heart of, regarding the situation of her getting the number to cross and claiming the asylum?
Well, knowing this 15-year-old, I know her very well. I'm sure it came out from her heart. But with the other thing that you're saying, the problem that they're, like I'm telling you, they're good attorneys, pro bonos. What happened is in Enclave Caracol, they have several attorneys that are there, but they also have a whole bunch of university students come. And when the university students come, they're just practicing law, and they have to do like their social work and everything. And when immigrants come and ask some questions and everything, and they don't know the answer, they just lift up their hands, and then the real attorney comes and tells them, give them an answer. But the problem is some of these immigrants are being like coached legally by some attorneys and telling them, look, United States law states that You could apply for political asylum anywhere in the United States territory. You could apply for it. It doesn't state how you got into the United States, how you did it, and everything. So all these immigrants have a mentality that if you cross the border all at once, it doesn't matter that the Border Patrol officer is right in your face. It doesn't matter. You have a right to claim asylum. So you could do it right in front of the face of the Border Patrol.
Wow.
And then also you lift up your hand, say political asylum, and everything. So what came out, me discussing with the immigrants and everything, the goal was this: 1,000 of them cross all at once, lift up your hands, I give up political asylum, jam up all the courts. When you have a family, you have a certain amount of time to have that family go to court, and you can't have them more than that time. So if the courts are totally, completely jammed and everything, you have to release them, but release them to the United States, even though if you have like a monitor on your ankle, right? Yeah, but you could fight the case being in the United States territory.
Wow.
So that was the main. This is why
the main goal of
the main goal, and this is why these so much immigrants, they're saying no. I have been coached by the attorneys. It doesn't matter that there's a police, there's a border patrol there. Just don't use violence or anything. Just cross over and say, I give up a political asylum. But what happened is when they do that, okay, they have them in detention center, and they said, okay, sign voluntary deportation. No, I'm not going to sign the voluntary deportation. I want my day in court and everything. This backs up the people that are in the back of the line. And so it extends and everything. So things got so jammed up and everything. What happened is they had to negotiate it with Mexico. Okay, you apply for political asylum. They give you your interview. Then they deport you back to the United States, back to Mexico for a court order, because there's so many of them that are crossing illegally, applying for a political asylum, so that they could have them in a detention center.
Wow.
So that was, it's interesting.
That is amazing. So first of all,
you know, you get to hear so many things being here at the shelter and everything. You learn a little bit about everything. You know, not only that, you know, there's a lot of immigrants that have been tracked down by reporters. Also, people from the media that want to. They're doing movies. Actually, there's several movies that are coming out and everything. So they've been tracking down all the way from different places and seeing their story and everything, you know, the battles and how hard it is to, like these immigrants right now, they're
but let me get this straight. Like, yeah. I know that you're the
there's a lot of money involved.
Yes, that's one thing. But I know that you're the kind of person that is telling them to do things right, to come in legally to the United States, from the front door, come knocking, do things right, and wait on your turn and try to work over here in Tijuana and try to make a life. Meanwhile, they apply for the political asylum.
Well, while they're here and everything, we have different kind of empresarios and people that are willing to help us. I have like 25% of our immigrants here are working, so we try to find them jobs and everything. Some of them are thinking of just staying here in Mexico and everything, and some of them, they say, okay, well, temporary I could work and everything while my number comes up and I'm on the back of the line. So I'm telling them, if you have a strong case and everything, just stay, wait your turn and everything, and do everything correctly. Also, in Clave Caracol, and there's a list of attorneys and even some freelance reporters and everything that are in a list and everything, and under like some kind of an investigation and everything. So I tell the immigrants that are here, look, you're going to find a whole bunch of attorneys that are crooked and everything. They're getting a lot of money just to represent you, and they don't care if they win the case or don't win the case, because they're going to get paid anyway. If they're saying it's a non-profit organization, but they're getting paid. So let's say they say $3,000, $4,000 to represent someone, and they deport. I'm sorry, we just lost the case and everything. So I tell them, look, there are crooked attorneys out there. You got to watch out who it is. I tell them, especially like Enclave, Caracol, Al Otro Lado, those are some attorneys that the U.S. government are under investigation and investigating for marrying people falsely and different things. And I'm telling them, I don't think it's for your best interest to look for an attorney like that that's under investigation. Look for an attorney that's not under investigation, you know. If you go to a law firm that's under FBI or government investigation and everything, they're going to suspect anything about your case. You might as well just get yourself another attorney.
Yes.
So that's what I'm telling them. It's not to your best interest. Look somewhere else.
First of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much. We talked like 4 or 5 months ago, and I haven't talked to you in a while. We'll be coming, to talk to you every week and see how you're doing.
I just wanted to add one thing, right quick.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I have had activist groups that came down over here
Go
and
ahead.
tell me, look, we could merge together, we could work together and everything. I want to get all these churches together. I want to get all these different shelters all together and everything, and coordinate with you guys. And okay, and we could bring you food, we could bring you doctors, we could bring you attorneys, we could bring everything. We could support you 100%. Just allow us to take pictures and everything, treat these people and everything, and allow us to do fundraising and everything, and say, deposit money to our bank account down over there, and we will treat you and everything. I said, I'm sorry, I don't play ball.
Unbelievable.
So I mean, it's that bad.
There's good organizations and there's bad organizations. There's good ones that they're helping you right now, and they're giving you the good hand. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. First, I want to say thank you to helping the community of Tijuana. You're a good man. You're a good man. You have a great heart. And to help all the kids that they don't have a home in Tijuana, that is my city, that is your city, to help people from here, from Tijuana, and make them a great person, make them a professional, make them a psychiatrist now that you're going to have a psychiatrist, make them lawyers, make them students, make them good people. I want to congratulate you for that. You're a good man. And other than that, I will be checking weekly on your security that everything is going on. And I want you to know that whatever you need regarding activists and regarding people that they want to instigate and they want to come over here in this shelter, I got your back with whatever you need, and the American public got your back with information that you need to protect yourself. Why? Because you're trying to do things right, and you're trying to protect, the country, and you're trying to protect the city and help, citizens from Tijuana. So I want to say thank you. And that's something that you want to say to the American public, Pastor, before you go.
Yeah, actually, what I'm saying, I feel a moral responsibility and a conviction of helping the immigrants. God told the people of Israel that don't forget that you were also a foreigner and everything, and treat them well. So I feel that's a conviction. Everything that I do towards conviction. So I feel that I have that responsibility. I do want to do everything in order, like the law states, and very transparent and everything. And I know that certain things, and a lot of activists or people might be thinking, wait a minute, it looks like he's really anti-immigrant. No, I'm not anti-immigrant. I love these people. These are great people that I have had and everything. Like in every race and everything, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly and everything. And we try to help as much as we can, and I want to appreciate and thank you for the interview.
I will be leaving, Pastor. Thank
Sure.
you so much.
Thanks.
Gracias. I will leave you because I think that you're busy. I'm going to go around and do a little bit more coverage and take some photos, okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. This
Sure.
is Pastor Alberto for you guys. Say hi. So I will leave you guys. There's somebody knocking on your door, Pastor.
Yeah.
So there you have it, you guys. I'm going to go around a little bit. I'm going to go around a little bit. Buenas tardes. Hello. Hello. I'm going to go around a little bit right here to check, what's going on. And stay with me, guys. So I will, eventually give you guys a message before I go.
Me parece que vamos a hacerlo así, de esa forma.
¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? There's Telemundo right there. ¿Te quedaron?
Ya, sí, los cambié los burros con esa serie.
Ándale. So that was Telemundo coming in right now. Telemundo's coming in to talk to the pastor. There you have it, you guys. Wow. Wow. And more wow, probably. That was Pastor Alberto. I saw him a little bit of 4 months ago. Where I saw him outside of the shelter. That there were 50 activists instigating and not trying to get out of the shelter. He was the one that approached me and told me, you know what? I'm going to take these people to my shelter and I'm going to help them. And he offered himself, and look at the mess that he got into. And well, he was before I talked to him. Before I did the interview, we were having a long conversation about, you know, which people are the ones that they are responsible for all this movement of immigrants, that they're well coached and they are practically, you know, getting lied to come across illegally through the United States. And he was being really honest. He was saying, you know, this looks like a movement from the left. It looks and it appears like a movement from the left. There have been a lot of Democrats coming into my shelter and talking to me and saying that everything is going to be okay, but they don't do nothing about it. And I see all this trafficking of children and all these unaccompanied children, that they are right here on my shelter, and they're saying that it's going to be okay, but they don't do nothing about it. So it says it looks more like a movement from the left. It looks more like a movement from the left. So, you know, that was the interview, people. That was practically the interview regarding this situation that is going on. This situation that is going on right here at this shelter. And, you know, there was a big interview with Cindy and Duke with this pastor. And I wanted to talk to him about, you know, to relate you guys face to face. I wanted to talk to him face to face to see the reality of his truth, to see him in his eyes, to see his feeling, to see his movement of his hands, to see his movement of his feet, to see if he's nervous about saying the truth, and to see if he's actually, you know, coming out, everything that he's saying is coming out of his heart. And believe me, people, everything that he's doing over here and the help that he's giving all these people, you know, that is actually just, you know, is helping people. That is what he's doing. He's telling them to do things right, to come in from the front door, to come in knocking, to do things legally, to come into the United States, but he cannot. He's overwhelmed, like the Border Patrol is overwhelmed with illegals crossing illegally to the United States. He's overwhelmed by lawyers. He's overwhelmed by false activists. He's overwhelmed by activists that they're really bad. He's overwhelmed by all these people that they just want to instigate it. They just want to cause problems over here in this shelter. So imagine that. We have lawyers that we already knew that they were coming and motivating this, you know, movement of immigrants to cross illegally. But we have lawyers that they're saying how to get married. If you don't apply, but you apply. Let's get married and you cross. Imagine that. All these declarations, and he has evidence, he has paper, and he has paperwork that it shows that all these illegal things that this, you know, lawyers guilds are doing, this organization, this border, I don't remember the organization. I think it's Border Response or something like that. This organization for this guy, River Doherty, that he was, you know, he's an activist, he's an extremist, that he was trying to cross, you know, he's trying to get the kid across illegally through the United States, and he did. He did. So imagine that. Imagine that. So, you know, we're trying to do the best that we can, people. We're trying to get you the information that you guys need. You know, watch Anthony later on. He's going to do some phenomenal. He's been doing some phenomenal work. It's unbelievable what is going on in El Paso. It's unbelievable how many buses are going into El Paso. It's unbelievable how many buses are running into El Paso with illegal immigrants, not reporting to nobody. There's shelters over there waiting for them. It's unbelievable what's going on in El Paso. So follow Anthony, follow my partner Anthony Agüero. Follow him at his page that is Conservative Anthony. Follow me as Oscar Blue for donations. The people that want to help me and donate, go to my personal page, Oscar L Blue, public figure, and send me a private message, and we can arrange that. And for people that want to donate to Conservative Anthony, go to his page and go private message to Conservative Anthony. And people, it was nice talking to you. I try to do my best. Like always, this is Border Network News for you guys, trying to give you guys an information, a road trip of all these, of this shelter right here that is agape, that it means love, and I try to give you guys the road trip, and try to tell you guys what is going on and the real situation with activist organizations, Jeff Merkley and the pastor right here in this shelter. So peace and love, people, and remember people, always your country first. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. Have a great evening.